The first of 3 reviews from ratings agencies will be released tomorrow. One economist believes that South Africa is likely to be downgraded by at least one of them. Moody's, the more positive of the 3, is set to be the first to release its review. S&P Global is expected to release its review next week, Friday, and Fitch a bit later in December.
A downgrade would be bad news for South Africa. It would negatively impact on the interest that government pays on its debt and make it expensive to borrow. Interest rates may have to go up and may not be able to come down for a long time, impacting negatively on consumers. Rating agencies have been concerned about South Africa's anemic growth rate, its management of debt, labor instability, and governance of state-owned enterprises. Mike Schuessler does not expect bad news from Moody's tomorrow, but says the country's growth rate is worrying.
The worst risk is that our economy is growing much slower than our population growth. That means the average person in South Africa is getting poorer. Poorer people are seen not to be able to carry as much debt. And that is the number one driver on the negative side, I feel. The number one driver on the positive side is that the difference between our risks and American risks have come down significantly. And although our bond rates have been pretty stable, American bond yields have gone up. So what we are seeing is that we have a smaller difference between us and the biggest economy in the world, and that is positive for South Africa.
The real threat comes from S&P Global, which has the country one notch above non-investment grade. If downgraded, it would take at least 6 to 8 years for the economy to recover.
South Africa was not investment grade with most of the rating agencies until the end of the 90s and with some until the beginning of the 2000s. So we've only got about 15 years of investment grade rating. So we've survived the so-called junk status, if you wish. The problem now is that our government has become much bigger. Our government debt is again bigger than it was before. So if they downgrade us, the impact could be a lot bigger.
Schuessler believes if South Africa is downgraded, it will be able to manage the crisis well. He says one positive is that government, business, labor and civil society are already working together to make sure that systems are working to grow the economy. Gloria Sefako Musi, SABC News, Johannesburg.